And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Innovation was exactly what its name said. It was an innovative card game. And it was a game that people loved or hated. At least that's the way it seemed to me. I have people in my game group who absolutely refuse to ever play it again. And I got people in my game group who will play it any day of the week. Now, I'm in the latter group. I like the game. In fact, I'm pushing towards loving the game. It's just so interesting. It takes the idea of civilization and puts it down into some abstract terms, but things that work. Well, an expansion, and I thought, well, what are they going to do in the expansion? Are they going to add new cards? Are they going to make it more complicated? Well, let's look at this. It's very intriguing what they've done. There's a lot in this box, so without further ado, let's get to Inside the Box. Okay, the first thing we see here is that these are the cards from the original game, and lo and behold, the cards from the expansion. Woo! Just as many. That's exciting. Now that means, though, that I'm fortunate enough to have this box, but someone in my group says that their box is the same size as the expansion set, so you wouldn't be able to fit them all in one box, or if you did, it would be a really, really tight fit. As it is, this box will easily hold them all. But you'll notice that these new cards have a different back. What? Is that a mistake? No, it's deliberate. Now, there's a lot of new concepts introduced in this expansion, so let me go over each of them. First of all, when you deal out the cards for each expansion, you're not going to use all of them anymore. Now, for me, that's a fantastic thing, because that means players are not going to know that a certain thing is in the deck. You may or may not know it's in there. And if you notice, there's a whole ton of new expansion ones. And we'll take a look at some of the expansion stuff later. But you will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these, and then you'll add in 4 of the expansion ones. And you'll shuffle those together for each age. So there's a little bit of expansion in there, but the expansion isn't necessarily going to dominate the deck. It's there. And because there are decisions that are made when drawing cards, you can now say, "Ooh, that's an expansion. I want that one," or "Yeah, I don't really want that kind of expansion card." So they have expansion cards for all of them. Another thing that this deck adds is it adds some new achievements: Supremacy, History, Heritage, Destiny, and Wealth. These are different cards that you can claim immediately when you meet the achievement for them, or there are cards that say you can meet it if you've accomplished a goal. You can also get more achievements in this set. Now, what this set comes with is it comes with a new card, and you'll notice it has special achievements, score, and forecast. What is forecast? I'll tell you later. But it also mentions all the different achievements, the special achievements that you can get here, as well as the new terms from the new set. So if you know how to play the game, this is the only card you need. If you're teaching someone to play the game for the first time with the expansion, they'll probably be looking at both cards at the same time. But hey, anyway, here's the deal though. If you remember, when you play this game, you can buy achievements, regular achievements. You can buy the prehistory achievement. It costs 5 score points, and you can stick that over here underneath your achievements. Yay. But this game, there are some cards, and there are certain ways where you can buy an achievement that has already been bought before. You could buy another prehistory achievement. Now, there's different cards that will let you do that. If I already have the prehistory achievement, and I'm going to buy another one somehow through some secretive means, then I just have to pay double it. So instead of paying 5, it would cost 10. So there is a way to get more achievements, and because of that, the amount of achievements that you need to win the game has increased. All right, forecast. Now, forecast is a new thing that's been added to this game, or foreshadow, I suppose, is the actual term, and foreshadowing puts them down here. So let's take an example here at this card here, which has foreshadow. It says, meld a card with a bonus from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards of value equal to that card's bonus. We'll get to that. Hang on. Otherwise, draw and foreshadow a card of value equal to the number of top cards on your board. What does it mean when you draw and foreshadow a card? Now, what that means is you will take a card, usually, almost always, of an era that you don't have. So let's say I'm foreshadowing 4s. I'm in era 1 or 2. That means I can look at the card, ooh, it's Invention, yeah, or I can't wait to get this card out. And then I stick it under Forecast. That's something I will be able to play in the future. So it kind of gives you a glimpse at what's coming up ahead. You can play these when you meld a card of equal or greater. This is 5 is greater than 4. Let's say I put the thermometer down in front of me. And I say, I also am going to play one of my foreshadow cards. So one of the cards in your forecast can be played every time you meld. You can play a forecast card for free. And not only do you get to play it for free, but you also get to take the action on it too. And so you can take the dogma action on the card as a free thing. So forecasting, you're using up one action to put a card here, and then later on you'll be able to take that card and meld it and take the action immediately. So it's a pretty cool thing. The disadvantage of forecasting is that you can really get caught up in it. I won't mention any names in particular, but let's say your name's Vasel and you get so caught up in forecasting that you lose the game because you're like, oh, I have all these cards. Yeah, but you do need to have a chance to play them in the future. But it's still a neat addition. Now, we talked about bonus. What is this coin here? Is there money in the game? No, this is a bonus. What the bonus is, you'll have different bonuses on your cards as the game progresses. See, for example, here you have a 5 and here you have a 4. These count as your score points. However, if these cards are face up in front of you, let's say these are the only 2 cards I have face up in front of me. My score is 6. I always take the value of my highest one, 5, and then each other one I have is worth 1, period. Now, if your cards are splayed in different directions, you'll still get 1 for each bonus that's shown. So, 6 here. This is a fantastic way to increase your score, and it makes a lot of cards valuable, and it makes splaying even better. Now, before I put this card away, you say, wait a minute, Vasel, what's that little box here? This is called an echo effect. The way an echo effect works is, whenever you take the dogma action of a card, I say, okay, I'm going to take dogma action of this card. Before I do this, I do my echo effect. Meld your bottom green card. Maintain its splay. Alright. And then I draw a melded card of value 1, blah, 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 blah. You say, well, why did they put it there? Because you get to take all your echo effects that you have. So if your cards are splayed, let's say I have the almanac on top here, and it's splayed over like this. Then, when I take the dogma action with almanac, first I'll take this echo effect, then I'll take this echo effect, then I'll take my main effect. And anybody else who has enough of these green leaf symbols will also be able to take that effect, all the echo effects along with me. So that's a pretty neat way. And again, this is a way that adds to the splaying. So these are basically the new things that have been added to this set. We have the forecast, the foreshadowing, that's my favorite thing. But we also have the bonuses that add to your score, and then we have the echo effects. And all in all, it adds a lot of variety. Now, before I get to my final opinions, let's take a look at some of these. Now, you'll notice that a lot of these things are technologies that maybe aren't so critical, I think, to civilization as the original ones were, but they're still neat, and I guess that's why you see fewer of them. But the 10s still provide multiple ways to win. There's so many variant ways to win at this point in the 10 pile, but we have camcorder, flash drive, cell phone, MP3, GPS. Let's go down here a little bit. Band-Aids, yeah, sliced bread. Is there anything better than that? I'm not sure. Saxophone, ice cream, you scream ice cream, the loom, the hot air balloon, the steamboat. Down here we have the piano, which is a very hard card to get into play, by the way. Speed drill, stove, pressure cooker. We have Coke. There's tons of different cards that can get into play, but you're not going to use all of them in every game. You're just going to use a certain amount of them, sticking them in. And I mentioned at the beginning that you stick 4 in with 7 of the original. That's for a 3-player game, which is the way I like to play this game at the most. Usually, I like the 3 players, my favorite way to play it. But it's different depending on how many players there are. So if you have 4 players, you'd use 5 expansion and 8 of the base. And with 5 players, yes, you can now play 5 players. You use 6 of the expansion and 9 of the base. Although I'm going to caution anyone from playing with 5 players. So that's what this game adds. You say, but why? I want to see all the cards. Buy it, and you can check them all out. Okay, I'll show you a couple more. Kaleidoscope, Indian clubs, lightning rod, tuning fork. Okay, I liked innovation, but I really like it when you add in this expansion. Wow. just the different things that can go on now. These new mechanics, echoing, foreshadowing, the bonus, they add a lot to the game, but they don't overwhelm it by taking over because there are fewer expansion cards than original cards. I like the fact that you can't count on specific cards. I like the fact that there are 5 more achievements and that you can get regular achievements multiple times through the different cards. I like the fact that even though it seems initially like there's more chaos, there's actually more control in this set and there's better reasons to splay your cards. All in all, this just adds and enhances the cards that are already in the original game, and I will likely never play the original game without the expansion again. The original game was fun, and if you like it, you are really going to enjoy this. It is fantastic, it adds a ton, and it makes Innovation one of the best games I've played, really. I think Innovation has hit my top 100 games simply on basis of this expansion alone because it's that intriguing and exciting. Can you tell I like it? I do.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.